Let's get into matched pairs. And we did matched pairs design way back when we did experimental design. I think, oh my gosh, that was so long ago. I want to say first chapter we did, chapter 4. But here's the thing is that matched pairs you have to be careful with because they are not independent samples. This is when the subjects in group 1 are the same as the subjects in group 2. So for a good example is we test some kind of task on people and we time how long it takes them to do that task. Then we give them a bunch of coffee or some form of caffeine. And then we retest them to see if they can do those things faster. So that's matched pairs. The subjects in group 1 are the exact same subjects in group 2. You need to be cautious with matched pairs because it's going to look like a 2-sample t-test, but you're going to treat it like it's just a 1 sample. So we're going to calculate the difference for each group and then just use that single list of differences to do our tests. So let's take a look at that for our 4 steps. So if it were a confidence interval, we want to estimate the mean difference of whatever we're testing at the blank confidence level. State the hypothesis, the mu is equal to 0 and the mean is not equal to 0. So we could I'm trying to think, could we have less? I think we could have less than or greater than. So I'm not sure why they only said not equal to. It could be less than or greater than as well. We're going to do a paired test. Both statistics are collected from the sample groups at 2 points in time. So this is called a sampled or a matched paired data. It's okay if you say matched pairs here, you won't lose any points for that. Randomization, just make sure both samples are random. They are going to be obviously not independent. And then 10% sample is no more than 10% of the population. And finally, make sure your sample size is at least 30 or a graph of the paired difference is approximately normal. And finally, there's going to be no changes except for you're going to have that difference and difference. So D bar, so not an X bar, and everything else should be the same. It's always going to be -0 because our null hypothesis is 0. We are blank percent confident that the interval from blank to blank captures the true mean difference. And then, of course, p-value small, we reject, p-value large, we fail to reject. Let's look at our example here. We've got an experiment with flexible schedules. So to see if people maybe worked well under a 4-day week versus a 5-day week. I think they're trying to reduce the mileage driven by field workers, see if that's a way they could reduce mileage and save some costs. And we can see they compared for each person. So these are all the people driving in the field. And they gave each of them a 5-day week and then a 4-day week. And they tried to see if there was a difference in their mileage. One thing this example didn't do well is it didn't actually show you these are the values we're going to use for our 1 sample. So we have to take each of these matched pairs, they're all a pair that go to each individual, and find that difference. So all of our data and this is the data we use, which will give us all the statistics we use. And this example sort of skipped that step, and it is an important step. So these differences, that's what we're using here. When we start with our state, so the mean of our differences, we think it might be 0. Just looking at those numbers, I don't think that's 0. The mean, so we think it's not 0, and that alpha is going to be at 0.05. So mu is the mean difference, and now that makes a little more sense between day 5 mileage and day 4 mileage. Now, this next part makes a little more sense what they meant by paired data. We just state that our data was paired because we had two treatments on the same individuals. It was random. The workers' trips are representative of all trips. When we look back up here, it doesn't really say anything was randomized, but I'm wondering if, and see, I'm kind of think it's odd that they didn't mention maybe they randomized the order. Maybe they flipped. So no, it looks like everybody did the second week was a 4-day week, which is odd. I'm surprised they didn't mix that up. But we can just assume that within those 2 weeks, that's a good representation. There really wouldn't be a way you could randomize this, except for, like I said, randomize the order of when they did a 4-day or 5-day. I guess that maybe that would just cause some confusion. So I guess it makes sense they did not do that. And then we've got 10% associates trips are less than 10% of all possible trips. That kind of makes sense there. We've got our histogram now. Remember, this histogram is based on that list that I made of the differences. So you can see there's not very many numbers less than 0, and the majority of them were greater than 0. Nearly normal, the histogram has no major outliers nor skew, so we can assume the results are nearly normal. The conditions are met. We can use a T model. So this is just giving the degrees of freedom. You don't have to give it in that statement. Just make sure you write it at some point. So somebody found the mean of the differences, which was really large. What is that? Oh, this is not as small as I thought it would be. I was kind of curious. All right, so we had 900, almost 1,000-mile difference. Our standard deviation of our differences was really large. Our standard deviation is larger than our mean. That's crazy. So then our standard error based on that mean comes down to 300 when we do the square root of 11. T value 2.86. Okay, I guess it's not as large as I was thinking. That explains why this isn't as small. But when we compare it against our alpha, we are still going to reject. Since our p-value is so small, we can reject the null hypothesis. Sufficient evidence to suggest that the change in work week changed driving mileage. Let me know if you have any questions. I tried to keep this one short since I felt like there was a lot of repetition from what we did in 10.1. But if I missed something or if you have any questions, please let me know.